So this is about a $10 Ferrari that made me more than $500,000. And I know that sounds pretty crazy, but if you hang on here for just a little bit, I'll explain exactly what that means. And I really did earn that much income. And so, of course, across my career, I've seen many different things. And early on, I had found this particular program. Now, the backstory, and I'll make this really short, is that I was a leader in a company. I didn't want anybody to know I was doing a little side experiment because we saw a marketing funnel with a little red Ferrari kind of a thing. And so I did this side experiment, but I did it under my ex-wife's name. My current ex-wife, she was my spouse then, but she had a different last name. And so nobody knew she was attached to me at all. And the places that we had been advertising up to that point, they were things called solo ads and traffic exchanges and list builders. So basically paying someone for them to send emails to their lists on our behalf, or clicking on places to build up credits to then show your stuff to other people who are trying to build up credits. So basically everybody's in your own audience, right? It sounds like it would be really stupid and wouldn't work, and it almost never did, except we brought over 1,000 people from those traffic exchanges into this $10 red Ferrari. So pay attention, because this is all fascinating with how this works. And so, and this isn't about traffic exchanges, but I share that because this is a place that didn't work for anybody, but because we found a really, really strong offer, which means a web page that convinced people, and it was so well done that everybody wanted to, they were curious and they had to check it out, and the price was right, $10. And so because of all that, we ended up enrolling more than 1,000 people in that organization, all from a crappy traffic exchange that nobody else ever gets traffic from. And so that was way back. It started in December of 2008. And, you know, it was a crazy time because it was all done undercover, and it was all done in just a random name. Nobody knew my wife's name at all. But yet tons and tons of people were joining her. And so that was the beginnings of it. Now, at the time, the rest of that story is that the original company I was with, they ended up in early 2009, they ended up basically going out of business and merging into another company, and that all fell apart. But luckily, because I'd been experimenting on the side with a secret thing under my wife's name, it was going to ultimately save me, because I had just gone full-time the year before with that company that was about to go out of business. And so the red Ferrari company and my fake, it's basically me, but I'm not really helping anybody. All I have is this page. It's working really well. See, we were just going to do an experiment and test out the page. And if it worked, then we were going to rebrand the page for that other company that ultimately went out of business. So what happened was, the page was working so well, I was sure there's no way it could be legit. There's no way it could last. And it wouldn't be worth the time to go through all the trouble of changing the page to the company about to go out of business if it wasn't going to last. So I tested it a little more, and I tested a little more. And next thing I know, my ex-spouse is signing up like tons and tons of people into this company. She has this gigantic team, and there's not even leadership happening. I'm not even helping people. And these people are following the instructions to do the page themselves. And we're having this team. There's strangers that I've never met making more money than people I've been running with for a year and a half in a program that cost almost $100 a month. So here's what happened. This thing was clearly like, it was an incredible thing. So I ended up sharing it with a few people I cared about, because when we found out the company's going under, and next thing I know, a bunch of people came because they realized, so first of all, we have to zoom out. We were in a global recession, and you know why? Because the banking and the real estate crash around 7, 8, 9, And so the movie The Big Short, that's all around that time. That's exactly what was happening in the world. And it's not too different from what's happening right now, my friend. This is the point. This is why I'm sharing the story. Way back from 2008, this was the year I was going full-time. I had just gone full-time in my business that year, and I was totally happy with my primary company, and I had a reputation there, and I was one of the top 13 leaders out of 100,000 members, and I built a team of 4,400, but little did I know it was all about to go away. But don't fret, because sometimes when some things go away, they turn into something even bigger and bigger and bigger. There's always a hidden order and a perfect blessing in every situation. So this company is going to go under. I have friends I've been working with forever. My heart's broken. It's the first time I ever cried on videos explaining to them that the company's going to shut down. And so next thing I know, in this company that pays way, way less, that's only $10 a month because it had the red Ferrari in it. So the reason why I had the title at the beginning of this video, it's that this was a program with a red Ferrari kind of branding, and it was only $10 a month. But we had a page that converted people, so it convinced people that this is such a good opportunity that a very large number of people joined it, even from other companies where they didn't want to join anything else. That's exactly what's happening with that savings company right now. That's exactly what's happening right now. If you have not reached out, you want to, especially by the time I finish this. But I want you to start making these connections. It's the reason I'm sharing this story, is because, you know, the study of history is just zooming out and seeing patterns in human behavior occur again and again and again. And so that same pattern from 2007, 8, 9, it's the same pattern happening right now. So that's the reason I was explaining that. So we have this $10 per month Ferrari page. Tons and tons of people are joining it. This company falls apart. A bunch of people that I had worked with join. And so if we were to fast forward years down the road, what ultimately ended up happening was that thing took me not just to a full-time income, but to a consistent 5-figure per month income. And it was only $10 a month. And you only made 10% per person. So every person that comes in, you only get $1 per month. But I built that income up to between $8,000 and $12,000 a month. And it stayed there really solid for like a few years. And it was all I did for those couple years. And then there were reasons why I stopped promoting that after a few years. But here's what's totally crazy. If you fast forward, last time I checked this, which was more than like 3, 4, 5 years ago, I know this was 4 or 5 years ago, I made over $500,000 with that $10 per month red Ferrari thing. It was such a stable base of income, because, you know, 8 to 12,000 a month, that's approximately 120K a year, something like that. But it didn't stay 10K a month for a bunch of years. Because for a bunch, it's a crappy company. For a bunch of reasons, it didn't do that. And so what we have right now with this savings program is wildly, wildly different. And so here's what's insane. I've gotten a residual income from the Red Ferrari program since December 2008. I'm shooting this video in June of 2025. You can do the math on that. And it's basically what, 11 and a half years of a check coming in. And for at least 8 to 9 of those years, literally zero. I haven't done one single thing. No marketing, no nothing, no team systems. I haven't been building the teams. Nothing to do with it. The only thing I've ever done is if somebody reaches out for help, I help them. But because there's not leadership happening, it could be so much bigger. But here's the point. I've got income for freaking 16 or 17 years and I haven't done anything besides work really hard for a couple years focused on something. and it was something super low ticket. And the timing was perfectly right because the global economy, it was suffering. Everybody was panicking about losing money and losing their jobs. And because everybody was worried about that, they're being driven online to look for a side hustle. And so look at the world we are in right now in 2025. What I just described is exactly the world we're in. If I wasn't to tell you that was 2008 I was just talking about, if I wouldn't have said that, you wouldn't know what I'm talking about and you would think I'm talking about today. And when we look around, everyone's struggling. A lot of people don't even know this, that the actual, if you actually figure what the real inflation is, it costs you currently, you have to make 11% more each year just to keep your same lifestyle. Now you're going to hear things about 8% and 3% and all this stuff. That's all biased to keep people from freaking out. If you look at, I know my stuff. I study with the very top guys on the whole freaking planet. I know it's 11%, it's 8 plus 3%, it's 11%. And so what that means is, here's why we are all feeling the pinch. Here's why all food is higher cost everywhere, because if your household made, for example, $10,000 a month, which is higher than most, but just to make the numbers easy, 1 year later, you'd have to make $11,111 to have the same lifestyle as what you were only making $10,000 a month the year before. Do you make an extra 11% every year? Do you have a vehicle to make an extra 11% every year that's guaranteed? And do you want to keep your life just flat and just what it was a year ago? Or are you trying to expand your life, grow, invest more in crypto, invest more in other things, save more for your future, have more fun, expand your lifestyle, take care of all the problems in vehicles, or buy new vehicles, or move to a better, safer neighborhood, or one that has more room for your family, or take a vacation that your kids or your family has never got to go on. And we're wired for growth. We're absolutely wired. That's how we got to where we're at. That's how humans are where we are today, because we've been wired for growth. And so when we look at, we're in a global recession right now. It's exactly like what was happening. Now, here's the difference. In 2008, I wasn't aware of any of this stuff. I didn't even discover anything about global economy until 2009. And when I did, it scared the hell out of me. And I studied it deeply for 2 years, and I learned everything about peak oil, gold and silver, investing, commodities, the whole history of worldwide economics, the ebbs and the cycles, and the 80-year cycles, and the 15-year cycles, and the 1,000-year cycles, and everything else. This crazy, crazy, deep stuff. And understanding the cycles are just cycles. They're going to happen. But you can do something about that. And we have right now something, it's only $20 a month. But that program back then, because it helped so many people, and I didn't know at the time why so many people were just flocking to our program online, it's because they were afraid to death. They needed a plan B. They needed to create more income. They felt the squeeze. They were uncertain about the future. The prices of everything felt like it was higher than ever. They were seeing businesses go out of business, go under and go bankrupt all around. The malls were stores are disappearing all over the place. Look around the world today. A lot of that stuff is what has happened in these past few years. The number one, actually, I will if I can remember to edit this video, I will put this on the slide, I'll put this on the screen here, that I just saw a graphic. The number one issue for the vast majority, and I'm going by memory, I'm not looking at it like you are on the screen right now or somewhere right here, that for years now, and it's like the last 5, 6, 7 years or something like that, the number one concern for everybody in the entire United States has been money. And it's far and away nowhere even close to any of the other issues that anyone has. Now, that's just the US, but I can assure you, I've talked to people all around the planet from dozens of countries, and everybody feels pretty similar. we are definitely a globalized world overall, where a lot of people right now, you may not know this, but if you talk to a lot of people in a lot of countries, you will find so much more in common than ever in all of you. I've been working online around the world since 2006 and 7. I mean, I've really, even back this red Ferrari $10 a month thing, even back in those days, I had teams in New Zealand, in Europe, in Mexico, in Canada, all over, in Norway, all over Europe. I never, except for one thing I did in 2014 and 15, I've never really had a big team in Asia, but everywhere else I've pretty much had teams around the world for different things. And by the way, the time I had the team in Asia, it was so big, it was unbelievable. They outgrew the biggest American team that I even knew at the time at all. They outgrew them by 25 or something times greater. 15 to 20 times greater. That's how much bigger. Like that was crazy. And so it's fascinating. Wildly different styles of things and it wasn't a bunch of online stuff like I'm used to. But anyway, I share all this to say that income was residual, and there are still checks that come in on the 15th of every month, and they've done it since December 2008. And back then I used to have a bunch of weekly pay, which is like, we have fast start bonuses in this save company. And I mean, it's crazy. And then you add, so first of all, we have a super high demand. We're in a global recession right now. People are freaking out. Everybody wants a plan B income. All the things I was just saying, that's today too. I was talking about 2008, but that's also what's happening in 2025. And so because of that, and now it's $20 a month instead of 10, here's multiple good newses for you. Number one, now you can make twice as much because it costs twice as much. But number two, that was freaking 15, 16, 17 years ago. And so I can assure you, every 14 and a half years, you've needed to double your income, but it's been getting more and more lately. That's why I talked about the 11%. So when you have something that's super low cost, that can't hurt anybody, that everybody in the world can afford, everybody in the world needs, and that's only looking at, let's go create an income opportunity. What about, there's still the entire other sides of like, this is the most marketable thing I've ever seen in my life, because it's not just about, hey, do you need a plan B income, and let's create a residual income that can impact your family for years and decades to come, for the whole life of the company. But this is way bigger than that, because it's a product that's allowing people to save money on things they're already buying, on oil changes, on every single thing you can think of, on shopping, online or in person, at restaurants, on travel. And there's so many more things coming with legal and telemedical health and lower your bill service. And all of these things all around, if you have the vision to understand what's, like, first of all, what's already available now, but second of all, what's already happening and what's coming down the road. And then you throw on top of it, we have this AI, which will reach out to your prospects for you, so that, because a lot of people really suck at following up. And I've always used tools to follow up, autoresponders and things, my whole career. This is what I've taught this to tens of thousands of people and changed all of those lives with that. Some of these people have gone on, created empires just from learning how to build an email list and how to set up autoresponders. And they've gone on and made crazy millions of dollars totally in other industries from one tiny little skill set from all this. But so we have this thing that everybody in the world needs, and they can all save money. So imagine even you talk to someone who's like, well, I don't think those things work. I don't think that I can really get anybody. I don't think I can really advertise online, or whatever their limiting beliefs are. Let's say they don't believe in themselves that they can make money. Well, then you still have the other part of, well, would you like to save, this thing's only $20 a month. Would you like to save money on things you're already buying? And now literally every single loved one you have, your neighbors, every single person you pass by, they all would love that. In fact, I guarantee you at least 1 out of every 3 person just in the US alone would love that. You know why? Because Costco has 100 million memberships, and there's only about 3 times that number of people in the US, a little more than that. So almost 1/3 of the entire, every household in the United States, sorry, not household, people. So 1 out of every 3 people you walk by in the US, they own a membership to Costco. Why? Why? Because it saves them more on the stuff they're going to buy. It saves them more than what their membership costs. So our membership here is only $20 a month, but who cares about Costco? You can actually save even on a Costco membership with our $20 a month thing. So now you get your Costco membership cheaper, either the premium or the next one down, and everything else not everything, but tons of things you're already purchasing. And as we go, we're adding more and more things into the mix. So you have to understand, if you were to go to any person you care about, think of the person you love the most right now. And if you said, hey, if you will give me $20, I'm going to give you a $100 bill back right immediately. You give me the 20, I give you 100 back in your pocket. How many of your loved ones would be like, oh my, shut up, they wouldn't believe you? Or they would give you this gigantic bear hug and thank you for giving them a free $80. Well, we have people saving $100, $200+ a month. We've had people Jose saved $768 just in the first, I think we had been in pre-launch still for 4 weeks. The company at the time of this video, it's only been here 11 days and we have over 8,000 paid members. And so there's so many people joining, and there's so many leaders around the world that have already seen this. I've never, in my 19 years of building businesses online, I've never talked to so many 6, 7, and 8-figure income earners. 8 figures is 10 million or more dollars they've made. I've only made a little over 2. An income disclaimer, I can't promise you've made anything. But also think of that. I've made a little over 2. Almost 1/4 of all my income online came from a little $10 per month red Ferrari program. Put the pieces together, this is freaking crazy. You can make enormous amounts of money on low ticket programs. People love low ticket when they're worried about the economy. People love to make money when they're worried about the economy. People love to save money when they're worried about the economy. This is literally the most universal and most needed product I've ever seen in 19 years. And that's not even just my words. Those are the same words I've heard from dozens of 6 and 7 and 8-figure income earners. And that's why so many people I've talked to, they've put projects on the back burner, huge businesses where they're making $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 a month. And they've put these businesses on the side to take this savings thing really serious and have a deeper look at it. And the deeper they look at it, the more they put their other projects aside. And I've seen it in people that were totally committed, and it's crazy. I'm shocked. It feels like this is all fake, like I'm living in a dream, is how much behavior I've seen change so sharply, like a complete hockey stick, a complete 180 for so many people. And I've known some of these people for all my time in the online game. And it's just, these aren't people that jump around and get distracted. They're focused. They've made 6, 7, 8 figures. That's how they've done that, is they're hyper focused when they see something good. And normally a program like this, it's risky because they're early on. This program is running down the path of its sister company, which is a $10 per month membership as well. This one's $20, the savings thing, but the other one is in the health industry, but it's only $10 a month. Amazing wholesale health products. It's a genius idea. They have almost 1.9 million members in only 2.5 years. I'm pretty sure they broke all of the industry records. And if they didn't, they're tied with any of the top ones. It's unbelievable. They're the top global business out of all of the companies. It's insane. So they paved the road with a similar comp plan with a membership model, but we improved it in so many ways. And so what's way better, that old red Ferrari program I was telling you about, That thing only paid a flat 10% down 5 levels, and that's it. There's no other, nothing else. Unless you bring in at least for every 5 people, you get $20 each week or something. Sorry, for every 5 people, you get 100. But if you only get 9 people, you don't get 200. Then you have to get 10 to get 200. And you have to do it from Sunday to Sunday. It's hard. It's a lot of people in a short time. So there's a little extra bonus paid out in that company. But this savings company, they pay out up to 80.5%, 80.5%. There's only up to 19.5% to go back to corporate. That's in the best case. That's not always. Sometimes money will flow up to corporate. And so, but you have to understand the pay is significantly bigger here. It's also a forced matrix. So the earlier you get in, the better chance you are higher up in the entire diamond. By the way, so well, if you cut a diamond in half, it's still a pyramid. So you can call this triangle pyramid looking thing. But I mean, just have fun with that. It really, I have an incredible video. Someone remind me to share it somewhere. But it's really about like the vast majority of all the structures that humanity has ever known, they're in that same structure of like a CEO and then the main executive, all the other C-level executives, and then all of the supervisors and all the managers and then all the next level. And it's just layers like a giant freaking pyramid. So anyway, that the earlier you get in, the bigger you are in that, because everyone's forced down below people below them. So the higher up you get, this company only has 8,000 members. Imagine when it's at 100,000. Imagine when it's only at 1 million. Imagine when it's at 10 million. And you could have got in within the first 10,000 people, the first 20,000, the first 50,000 people. There's people in that health-based company, they would have killed. I think when I discovered that company, it was around, I don't remember, between 80 and 300,000, but that was not even close to where it's at today. Because today it's at 1.9 million. That's so many more times greater than where I found it. And so you're learning about this company so early on, and it's on a roadmap and on a track of a company that's crushed it for 2.5 years. The top income earner over there is making 6 figures a month. We have a far superior compensation plan. Everybody, and in fact, let's like compare. I've done other videos on this. You can check on YouTube. But you know, by the way, I like this $10 a month health company. I'm not talking about the red Ferrari company anymore. I'm talking about things right now of how we know this thing pays. And I don't want to leave this out, because you get matching bonuses in this matrix. So I told you about the matrix, but you get these matching bonuses. So every time you put a person in, everything that ever falls below them, you get a percentage match of everything. I'm currently a 4-star in this company, and there's only 5-star. That's the highest rank. It's crazy. I was a 4-star in like my first, I don't remember. It was fast. It was insane. And why? Because nobody's ever seen anything like this. It's growing virally. It's a huge explosion. It's insane what's happening. So you get a match on everyone. So I get, with where I'm at as a 4-star, I get a 52% match of every person that joins me. So if you join me, I'm super incentivized to blow it up down below you and help you. Let's get your check up to like $1,000 a month in your matrix. Then I get a matching 52%, which is another $520 to me on top of everything else. Plus I get paid what's in your matrix and everybody else that's matching. And by the way, I don't do this for the money's awesome, but that's not why I do anything. That's always been an afterthought. Like, I will walk away from something if something can't serve you and it doesn't help you, and if my heart's not in it and I don't believe in it, I don't care how much money I'm walking from, I walk away. And that's, I probably could have made well over 10 million in my career instead of like 2.2 or whatever the numbers are. It's way over 2. I don't even track. I don't really care about any of that. The last time I had done a bunch of numbers on it was over 2. I know it's not over 3 yet. So, but none of the, like, here's the point of all that. I've walked away from tons of money when I can't stand behind a program. I think that's also why so many people have grown to trust me over all these 19 years, because they've seen me be authentic and transparent. And if there's problems, I talk about those problems. And if I'm worried about things or seeing concerns, I share that with people. And it just, I can't help but to tell it like it is, and share what I've been seeing. So this thing it's really incredible what's happening. So, to kind of summarize a whole bunch of things here, is that the $10 per month Ferrari program, because I happen to get in it right at the perfect timing in a global recession back in December 2008, that was just lucky. I didn't try to plan that all out. But we know we're in a global recession. Tons of people end up joining that thing. Everybody's telling me you can't make money with a $10 per month program. But then fast forward, really quickly there, I'm making $10,000 a month on a really crappy compensation plan. And looking back, it was a really crappy product. It's part of why I ultimately had to walk away, because it was selling something for $10 a month that you can get for closer to $10 per year. And I couldn't stand behind it, but we didn't see all that. And we couldn't, I didn't know all that. It took me a long time to see those things over time. And the way that we were ultimately selling it, I wasn't congruent with it, even though a bunch of the team wanted to keep doing that. So there's people over there right now, they have no idea what I've been doing. They've just been building the $10 per month Ferrari program. There's some the big internet marketers that join. Sometimes they'll go and promote for a few months, 3-6 months, and they're bringing in tons of people. And then maybe they'll stop that promotion for a little bit. But I share all that because you don't know what's going to happen to you when you get in something early and you have something like this $20 per month savings program. Everybody in the world can afford it. We're in a global recession. They all need to make money anyway. It's a product that helps them save money. So now every person in the world needs it, even if they don't want to make money. They need it as a customer because they need to save the money in their house. And the average bankruptcy is like $200 to $300 a month. It's been like that for a long lot of years. And so if somebody's saving $200 or $300 a month on their membership, this can help people avoid bankruptcy. The more people are saving, the more they have to start telling their loved ones, this is crazy. I just saved, I've been to a smoothie place 2 days in a row with my son, who's 16, and we've saved, each time I walk in there, I save $6.50. I didn't plan to go there not more than once a week, but I just found it a few days ago, and the smoothies are so fresh and good. I just keep going back, and we've now saved, I have saved $13 in 2 days. My membership only costs $20 a month. Now, an average person probably goes and buys in that smoothie shop once or twice a week for sure. Some people have habits every day, like Starbucks and stuff. So if you think of that, the ability to help any household save money, that's almost all 8 billion people on the planet need that. The vast majority, more than 99%. Even wealthy people, unless they're the elite uber wealthy, like Bill Gates, it costs him more to reach down and pick up a $100 bill because he has to slow down enough. That kind of thing, if you've ever heard that. Outside of that, a lot of wealthy people are frugal and want to save money. This product literally is 99% of the planet. So it's not just in health. It's not just in technology. It's not just about making money. It's not just in, all of the things. It's not just in travel. Although we have crazy travel deals already, and we have way more coming. So all of these things put together, it's why so many people from all around the industry have seen this and they're excited about it and they're sharing it, and it's why it's growing virally. It's crazy what's happening. I'm watching people who have struggled to make money for years, and even for my whole 19 years, and I'm watching them successfully bring people into a program. I'm watching them bring family members in who've never ever done any of this. The family members are bringing colleagues and friends and family in. I'm like, holy cow. It's working. But why would that work? It's because we feel like we're giving people a gift. It doesn't feel like I'm trying to twist somebody's arm will you check out my $20 a month program? It doesn't feel like that. It feels like, can I financially bless your household? Or with the potential to, if you will come and watch this, come watch this 6-minute presentation, come watch this webinar and learn a little bit more about this. But this might be a big financial blessing to you and your family. I mean, how much money does a household have to make before they start sharing with other people? Think about that. What's the number? For some people, it'll have to be over 100 or 200. Maybe for some, it has to be over 500. For some households, if they save $30 in a month and it only costs 20, they're going to start talking to everyone. And one of the secrets to this industry, I ignored a mentor back in 2009 that was like, Jason, the secret, this person made tens of millions by the time they were 30. They're very, like, you want to listen to everything they share. And they shared, one of the secrets is you get new people started, you want to reach through them immediately into their warm market and find the most influential people. And I'm an internet network marketer, attraction marketing. We put things online and attract people in. So I'm like, I'm not reaching through people. I'm not doing 3-way calls or any of these things. So, and I still will rarely ever do those things. It has to be a super, like a team of influencers and things like that. But just imagine when you're bringing people in, and when they're realizing it'll grow that fast. You will find those influential people because it's usually not directly to you. It's usually like you bring in someone who brings in a couple and brings in a couple, and then somewhere there's a big, marketer that comes. And then when you get bigger marketers, they tend to bring in a ton of people, and you'll tend to get more big marketers more quickly. So though you'll see that like this like snowball effect happening again and again. And but the whole time, normal people who have been struggling forever, all of a sudden they're finding success. That's some of what, I mean, we've been going 7.5 weeks almost, and that's a little bit of a preview. 7 weeks and 2 days now is when we were first launched, like into pre-launch. And now the company, as of today, it's only been in launch for 11 days, and there's so much potential. It's so, like, there's so many lives being changed. There's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. In fact, I'm pretty sure on my team, there's more than 600 or 700 people who've already created a residual income they don't ever have to work for. And a lot of them, it's locked in for a whole year because they're VIP. You can see that once you're inside. And so look for that. Look for where it says VIP once you go check it all out. So I hope this serves you well. We are in a global recession. We have the ultimate solution here. I hope you're willing to give it an open mind and check it out. I only know people who've regretted not looking at this the very second they saw it. And the people who looked at it right when they saw it, I've heard nothing but gratitude from them. And that's been happening for over 7 weeks now. So I suspect that will continue to happen with increasing frequency because we're growing bigger and bigger. So look for links below this. Feel free to message me depending on the platform. So if you're on YouTube, go down in the description. If you're on Facebook, comment below. Just type save down below in the comments, and then private message me save as well. And anywhere else, find me on Facebook Messenger. That's the best way to get me. That's it. You know what to do. Feel free to ask questions. I'll be an open book. I can serve you a lot more quickly if you do find me on Facebook and Facebook Messenger. But I'll reply anywhere. Just takes me some time outside of Facebook. So come and find me, my friend, or just click on the link. You'll hear from me by email, and we'll see you again soon.